Hello everyone. So today I am doing the marine, probably from the Aliens franchise. That's kind of like where I was going with the idea. And I was just thinking that perhaps they found a wreck just floating in space and they're having a little look around like the Nostromo, I guess, from the first film. And so I did include some what I would consider some acid burns on the floor. But yeah, so that was it really. That was like my basis for the idea. And then I thought, well, I need to do like a background. So I did a bit of research on Pinterest and had a look at some of the sci-fi backgrounds and tried to find the simplistic way of doing them. So just sort of like looking at the panels and stuff like that and just sort of making them try and match. And that kind of gives the effect of some sort of like a man-made structure when you start doing sort of solid straight lines and panels and things like that. So I took the same approach with this astronaut outfit as well. I love looking at Warhammer for inspiration. I think that's always fun, and the work of Karl Koplinski. I love his drawing style. I follow him on Instagram, and he just has a way of kind of like doing a sort of like light sketch and then doing like details over the top and sort of building on it before he starts going into the line work. Yeah, so here I'm trying to sort of make the base colours all correct before I start sort of going in for like shadows and blending. And yeah, so this is all the shadows. So I took a dark colour, turned it into multiply, put a mask on it, inverted the mask, and now I'm painting it back in white, which you'll hear me say all the time. And it's just a quick way of getting shadows. And then on a new layer, I'm just adding in highlights. So yeah, this is exactly the same method, just instead of doing multiply, I'm doing screen. And again, it's just a quick way of making the object three-dimensional. So once I've got all those sorts of things in place, I can switch to a blender brush and start merging it all and emphasizing that 3D. Yeah, so once I'd separated the character off of the page and just had him on his own, I was able to reduce the opacity of the line work from behind and concentrate a little bit on straightening things up and making it look a little bit more technical. Because I have to say, if you haven't noticed, my lines can be a little wobbly. Yeah, I did a vignette around the outside because I wanted it all to focus on the main character. But then I had the idea of doing these windows and having a star poking through. So that was fun, trying to work out where the light would fall. So I had a bit of trouble with this and had to like keep playing around until I got it looking how I think it should look. But yeah, you basically do all of that and then you sort of blur it and put a few sparkles in there using my sparkle brush. Dust particles floating around. And this is a lens flare that I used from Filter, so you can render a lens flare. One of the best ways to do it is to make a new layer, make it all black, and then render the lens flare on that. And once you've done that, then you can switch it to screen and then move it around wherever you want. Here I'm just doing a little bit of edge lighting just sort of where like the main light beams will sort of catch mostly. Again, adding to the three-dimensional aspect of the character. The only thing that I'd have changed is I used a pen, a fine tip pen. I'll just get it here. It's a Unipin fine line, and there wasn't any nuance in it like you get with a biro. So I do regret using that to do the line work on this character. I wish I'd done it in biro, because I'd have been able to use it more like a pencil and get light shades and heavy shades and things like that. But you know, you live and learn, so I do wind up sort of blending out a lot of the line work that I did do, and sort of salvage it that way. But there was a lot of technical things that I wanted to try out here. So, you know, sort of making the costume look correct. I thought because it was military, I was kind of stuck in the sort of green zone for sort of camouflage and stuff. But I do some texture paints on there. A little bit of splatter. I toned down, like I said, toned down the line work a little bit, sort of blend it out, as you can see. And this helps a lot because I can kind of blend it back and leave remnants of it there, and then I can come back in, putting in some highlights and making it look a little bit more believable. Yeah, and the highlights on the helmet, I had to make sure that I did a bit of curvature so that he looked like he was inside the helmet. Just little things, little bits and bobs to think about when you're doing stuff like this. But a lot of the things, when I'm not sure, I'll make a new layer and then I'll play around with an idea, and it might or might not work. Yeah, just sticking in a few little highlights. Oh yeah, the keypad. I saw this on a picture in Pinterest, and I thought, oh yeah, you know what, a keypad, that's what they'd have had in like everything before like 1985, you know, before touchscreens became a thing. Having a keypad or a calculator watch or something was like the height of technology. So yeah, 80s retro there on his arm. Yeah, here's my little splatter of texture, some more dust particles to play around with, blur those out. I like to convert things to a smart object because then if I want to change something, I can do. It's temporary. But yeah, it's interesting, you know. I mean, like, you do have to think quite mathematically about things. So you do have to kind of use your memory to imagine where the light source is pinging off of. You know, where's it strongest, where's its weakest. So here I'm going in with white using my hard pencil brush. And that's just to kind of like do like the glare where it's really hitting. And here's the final product. Yeah, if you like what you see, check out my short videos, my shorts, and remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you again next week. Bye.